She's the cutest girl. She's the cutest girl. She's the cutest girl. Okay, what was the first question? How did I get into this career? Money was a big motivator, obviously. It wasn't everything though. Like I don't think anyone should do this just because of the money and not think about like all aspects of it. When I first decided to quit my job as a family therapist, I was feeling really unsatisfied in that career. I feel like I was working really hard and making a lot of impact on people's lives, but getting very little like payoff for it, if that makes sense. Literally like through my paycheck, and then also just, feeling like no matter how hard I worked, something new, there was always something new, like something new wrong or something, a new client or this or that. And so it's like the type of job where it never feels like done, or I don't know. That's how it felt for me. And I know that's not 100% true, because obviously over time you do start to have success stories and see that growth long term. I only did a couple years working as a therapist, and the place I worked at, I would say cycled through clients pretty quickly because it was outpatient and teenager age-ish. So a lot of it is based on what's going on in their lives. And, teenagers maybe aren't as willing to commit long term to therapy. Not all the time, but sometimes I would say that's the case. So you don't necessarily always get to see the result of the work you did. It might like impact them later in life. Anyway, there's more where that came from. But I was just feeling like, while I do love this job, I want to impact more people. I want to have like influence that's larger than this even. I knew I wanted to start making videos online. I didn't intend to make spicy videos at first, but I started with makeup videos. I love makeup. I am obsessed, like big makeup girly. I have always loved makeup. While I thought I could make a career of it, it really turned out to be more of a passion for me and a hobby. And I didn't want to like fully monetize that because it was such a relaxing thing for me. And when you start making makeup videos on YouTube and stuff, it gets competitive really fast, and it feels like there's a lot of pressure. I don't know, it's just like a lot, and it just made it less fun to do makeup, which was not what my intention was. And I felt like I was constantly competing, even with like friends and stuff. You're so cute. Why are you so cute? Like, I can't even think with her in my lap right now. Oh my God, you're so cute. You're so cute. Why are you so cute? Oh my God, my baby angel. Long story long. I ended up switching to ASMR because I have always loved ASMR, and I felt like it tied well into my therapy career. It's very tied into, anxiety relief, mindfulness, relaxation, and helping people who struggle with insomnia, etc. So when I started ASMR, things really popped off for me, and I realized that I loved making videos on the internet. I loved being creative. I loved inspiring. Why are you shaking? I feel like she knows that. That she's on camera right now. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You stop shaking, little girl. Oh my God, my little girl. Rewind. Let's retake that. Making ASMR videos was very fun for me, and it still is. I felt like it was very creative, but also it didn't require like a ton of knowledge on video editing per se, more so knowledge with just sound. And I was able to figure all of that out over the few years of getting into it, and now I have a good grasp on filming, recording, and a bit of editing. I always want to keep going and keep learning, so I've opened up my brain to the idea of making other types of videos too. And before getting into more of what I'm into now, which is like fitness and motivation, healthy living kind of stuff, just how to live your best life. That's when I began doing the OF content. It was so crazy because it started with me being very discreet about it, and I really didn't want people to know. So I did it under like an alias, and I had the link kind of hidden. I think it was on like Reddit maybe, and I might have shared it occasionally like on a private story or just like, somewhere where I knew a lot of people who knew me personally might not see it. But the weird thing is, like, a lot of people from like my high school and college and stuff had kind of like just come out of the woodwork and were like my first customers. Like, so many of those people had found it, and I'm sure were like sharing it with people they knew, and obviously like got around. And then, I was making really good money, surprisingly, at first, because so many people that knew me in real life were like, oh my God, we got to see this. Yeah, at first it was just so like, I don't know, like I didn't know what I was doing. It was just like, me taking like selfies and low lighting, bad quality videos. Being on there a lot, chatting with people and everything. It was so time consuming. I'm like, wow, like this money's coming in immediately. Like I don't like, it's not hard to do this. I enjoy doing this. Like, I don't feel like I'm working at all, really. I just kind of went with it. But mind you, when I started it, I actually was still in school and still working as a therapist. And that was a big conflict for me because, I'm getting my master's degree. It's helping me to make some income because I wasn't making any income, obviously, as a student, an intern. And the page was discreet, so there was no way people were going to find it unless my clients were able to find my social media and stalk me, which they wouldn't because it was under an alias. So it would have been very rare for that to happen. Very unlikely, but the thought always would be on my mind, oh my God, what if they somehow happen upon this link? I felt so morally conflicted. While it's not my fault that they would be looking me up in the internet despite me not giving them any information, if it were to happen, it could change their perspective of me or their family's perspective of me and just shed a bad light on me or the agency that I was working for. So yeah, over time, when I realized I wanted to I was enjoying the work a lot and wanted to go bigger with it, I'm like, I have to quit this job. And that's sort of like the conclusion I came to is like, what do I enjoy more, making my YouTube videos and my OF content or working as a full-time therapist? And I chose to give up therapy. I did receive my master's degree. I graduated, all of that, worked after I graduated, kind of took a break from OF a bit and focused more on ASMR content. And then when I realized, it's going to take a long time to monetize my YouTube channel and everything else, it's going to take a long time to build an audience, and I would like to have some income. So that's when I sort of decided to break away and go back into OF because I knew I would make more money than I did as a therapist, and I would also have way more time to work on making videos, making ASMR, trying creative things on the internet, building up all my social media. And it was impossible to do that working as a therapist. It was 9 to 5, or sometimes 10 to 7, and in office, out of office, online, writing up reports, finishing your notes, doing intakes, meetings, just all consuming of my brain and my energy, that by the time it was all said and done, I did not want to be like recording a video and editing it. Like, that was the last thing I wanted to do. It's just crazy to think back on all of it now. I love being a therapist. I still call myself a therapist. I still am a therapist. I have a degree. I have knowledge and expertise. I've done many trainings, and I worked for a few years, and I still keep up with the knowledge. Like, I'll do my own research and kind of discussions with other people about therapeutic topics to kind of keep it fresh in my brain. But no, I'm not like an active working therapist anymore, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for now. Things really popped off, I would say, probably like 3 years ago when I had become like full time with it. And I had hired some people to help with advertising, and ideas for content, and sort of how to market my channel more on Reddit, on Instagram and Twitter, and people that knew about these platforms way more than I did. And when I started having meetings and discussing how to do this, I realized that my potential was so high to make so much money on there. And I just like, the idea of making a lot of money was never something I thought would be me. Like, I had never been like, oh, I'm going to be rich or make money one day. Like, no, I'm going to give back to people and I'm going to help people. That has always been my mindset about what I'm going to do and the impact I'm going to have. And that is still the mindset. But to be able to say I can do both is a beautiful thing, I think. So the reason I say that too is because like people think of OF and they're like, oh no, there's no way like that you're giving back or doing anything good for anyone or helping people in any way. Like, it's just bad. It's bad for society, or like, I don't believe in that at all. I actually think it is really good for people, depending on the approach you take with it. But my approach is definitely more about empowerment, sexual empowerment, and just feeling comfortable in your body, feeling comfortable sharing your different, kinks or whatever, and feeling comfortable just like owning that, you know what I mean? Or even like your sexual preference, like whether you're straight, gay, bisexual, or anything in between, like any of those things, that there's no judgment. And I always wanted to make that clear. Like, I'm not judging you. Like, you could have the weirdest fetish in the world, and I'm probably not gonna say no to like helping make content that would fulfill that for you. There's not a lot of limits there for me, because as long as everyone's consensual about it, and it's not violating any terms or conditions that would get either of us in trouble, like, I don't see why we can't like explore different ideas and be weird with it. Like, it's okay. There's no shame in admitting that, you know what I mean? Like, why hide it? If you hide it, it's just gonna get suppressed and you're gonna be more and more anxious about it. So just like be open about it, you know what I'm saying? I like to be nurturing on my OF page. I like to help people feel loved and appreciated and like listened to. And a lot of times it is men on the page, and a lot of times men don't get the chance to feel that they can be emotional or be lovey or romantic or, be silly and flirt. And especially like when they're getting older and they're like, oh, like my life has become pretty dull in that area. And it was one of the reasons I also decided to go into dancing and stay with that, was because I just noticed that like I brought like a positive energy to a lot of men that they'd been so like almost like, I don't know, so negative and like sadistic, like boo-hoo about life. And I'm like, there's no reason we need to be that way. And like, let me lift you up. My personality tends to be very uplifting and bubbly and charming, and I like rubbing that off onto people that need it, as long as it's not making me then feel negative, which it doesn't, because like I don't live with these people. I wouldn't live with someone like that, if I'm being honest. I think it would take a lot out of me, but to just be able to communicate online or once a week at a club is enough distance for me that I feel like I'm helping, but also protecting my own peace. I don't even know if I'm answering one question at this point, but I just like talking about my journey of how I got into making content and OF. And people ask me all the time, are you going to go back into being a therapist? The option is always there. Therapists are not shaming people. We don't shame. We don't judge like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't judge for anyone's past. If I were to give all of this up and go back to just being a therapist, it would be fine. Like, there is no reason why that should be not allowed. Obviously, doing both careers at the same time is more ethically debatable. You can always change. You can always go back. It's really not a big deal. One day when mommy's old and she's too tired to twerk her booty, maybe she help people again with therapy, or maybe I'll just open a doggy daycare, that would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? Would that be fun? You would love that, yes. So people often question like, my dating life. And I should mention that on my OF, well, you'll have to subscribe to see what it really is, but a lot of it's just me. I will say that. Like, I would say the majority of the content is me being creative and doing a lot of customized things for people, making what is needed from my audience. Within that, sticking to who I am as a person too. So a lot of times I attract the people that like my style, like my personality. And so then when I start getting custom requests, it's very much aligned with what I am like and what I'm open to. So it kind of works out. I don't greatly enjoy like filming with just anyone random. I have not really been dating much over the last few years, I will be honest. I don't think I've been on a date in the last year, like truly like a real date. I don't really recall going on a date. But it's not really a priority. With that said though, I always thought, if I were to have a partner again, I would film with them. I would want someone that's open to doing that and making and selling content together. And obviously I don't have a partner, so that's been difficult. And I'm really not the type of person to just film with anyone. Like, I'm picky. I want someone that is similar to me as far as hygiene and, taking care of themselves, being motivated and knowing how to do filming, how to work cameras, how to make high quality content, feeling hardworking about it, like wanting to commit some real time to it, not just like being like lazy about it. That's not me. People ask me all the time if I'll record with them or whatever, and I'm like, no, like sorry, but like I'm up here on the level of like my standard for what I hold for myself, and like the way they talk to me, it's like down here on what they're gonna do, and I'm like, we gotta be more like up here. It's just not worth it to me. It's not gonna be what I want it to be, and I don't want to put anything on my page that I'm not proud of. I usually will say no, but I've been really hoping to either eventually find a partner who would be down to join me in this journey, or at least find a work partner who is someone I could really trust, that would commit and is like serious about this too, and would want to kind of like make the same amount of progress with it as I do. It's really difficult to find people on the same work ethic level. And sometimes you get like bamboozled by people into thinking they're going to be on your level, and then like, I don't know, like there's some pieces missing, and it just feels like more like you're a coach or trainer or like a teacher rather than like a coworker with that person. Like, I'm not getting paid to like coach people into how to make content on OF or any platform. So one day though, I might do that. But no, I need someone on my level. Like, but the part of the reason that I haven't really dated or had a partner is because I've just been so wrapped up in my high work ethic. I take it all very seriously. I have a lot of goals and aspirations for the next year, and I'm not gonna let romance get in the way of that. I know that sounds kind of like cynical, maybe, I don't know, but like, that's not, people put way too much emphasis on like love and romance and having a partner. That is only one aspect of the whole of like what life is about. I don't know, that's like, that's not everything. Ugh. People need to calm down with that. There's so many more things about life. Like, for me, my passions are making content, being creative, like taking care of my fur baby, physical things such as like getting better at my aerials, trying new things, working out consistently, taking care of my body, getting out in nature, traveling, seeing new places, spending time with my family. Like, there's so many things that are important to me. I was like, oh my God, you're so cute. Outside of having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend, like, I promise you that is not a priority. It's on my list of things I want, but it's not a priority. And so when people ask me about, how does this impact having a relationship? It's not even about this. Like, the reason my relationship status is impacted is because of me, myself, being pretty like closed off to it at this point because I feel it would be a distraction from what I really want to work on. In any moment I have tried to date throughout my process and when I started doing content creating, I didn't notice many issues. Like there were very few people that had a problem with it or were judging me for what I do for work. I will say that once starting dancing, although I only really do it maybe once a week, there were some people who I felt maybe were a little intimidated by that because it is more of like an in-person situation where you are developing connections and, you know, you're around men in real life. Online, it's less intimidating, maybe. I don't know. I enjoy doing both and they have different benefits to them both. So I'm not going to stop that. But I've really not noticed people being like judgy about it or it being like a deal breaker. With that said, though, I haven't actually started any relationships that were serious since that. So who knows? Like maybe they say that, but then down the line, maybe, I don't know, maybe they would feel a little insecure about it or uncomfortable. And to me, it's like got to be pretty clear that like this is my life and I'm really not willing to change that for someone else. That's like, this is who I am and this is what I enjoy. No one is worth that. Like I'm worth more than anyone else in my mind. Like I come first. I'm the priority right now. If someone else wants to come into my life, they can, but they need to fit the puzzle piece. I'm not gonna like change up my whole life just because they want me to. You should not do that. Please stop doing that. I don't know why people do that. Like, okay, yeah, you could like maybe like rearrange a couple pieces of the puzzle, but you should not be like rearranging half the puzzle. That's too much. More the content creating side of things, it's a different kind of burnout than like when I was in school or working as a therapist. And I would get burnt out, literally just like overtired and overstimulated. This burnout is more of like a creative rut and a inspiration burnout, like a confidence burnout, because you have to be so like on it all the time. And you have to be like, I don't know, you have to be very open to feedback and harsh criticism. And you kind of always have to just, I mean, you can be yourself, but you have to, nobody wants to see someone like being all negative and like meh and poor me, like in videos on the internet. That's like, no one wants to see that. So if you're feeling that way, you can't really record yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to take a little break and like recharge. So that's where like that burnout comes in. And I will say that, over the last month or two, I was experiencing that burnout. Hang on, stinky girl. I was definitely experiencing that burnout with the ASMR content. I felt like that the only way my videos get views is if I make this kind of same consistent type of video, which was a personal attention ASMR video. Very up close, very intimate, very like girlfriend experience-ish. I'd be really close and always be wearing a low cut top. Like only would do well if I was like wearing a low cut top, had my hair and my makeup done really nice and the lighting was perfect. And, you know, I was making a lot of the same affirmations and saying a lot of the same things in each video. While I do think that that helped people and that they enjoyed it, I don't know, it just got so boring. I'm like, okay, like, is there nothing else? I would try to make other things and like they wouldn't perform well. And I'm just like, I don't want to keep making this same cookie cutter video. Like, I am so bored with this. I know it's helping people, but gosh, like just go watch any of the like 20 of the same of this I already have. Like, go watch those ones. Like, just keep watching them, like build up the views for me. How about that? And then I'm going to make something different for other people. The conclusion I came to is that I really enjoy, like, it was too niche down for me. ASMR is too niche down. Like, it's too specific. It's too kind of weird and out there and not broad enough to appeal to enough people that I'm interested in appealing to. So I'm niching out a little bit. I'm kind of like breaking away and like adding more into my pages. So for me, that would be like health and fitness inspiration and like meditation and yoga and stretching and pushing your own self to be the best version of yourself. I feel like that does go into ASMR. Like, I think that they can tie in together because ASMR is very much about like self-help, self-healing, and taking care of yourself. Same thing with the physical aspects, you know, working out is about taking care of yourself, and stretching every day is about taking care of yourself, and part of that could be meditating as well, and pushing your boundaries to reach new goals. And I think this is all like kind of stems under just self-help and self-growth and how to live your best life, how to reduce shame in your life, and be bold and try new things and just like really get absolute most you can out of your life, because there are so many people limiting themselves and I just like can't stand that. It just like makes me crazy when people tell me stuff like, oh, I could never do that. Well, I don't know. I would never try this, that. I've always wanted to do that, but I'm too old for this now. Like, stop it. Like, what are you saying? Stop it right now. Like, ugh, I should be too old to start a new hobby then if we're gonna go with that. Like, yeah, my body is like already going towards like the stage of like being less strong, right? Like, I've passed my peak, which is probably in your 20s, right? Like, now I'm gonna be going downhill to like to being less strong and having more health complications. Like, sure, we could say that, but like, is that really 100% true? No, it's not. It's only true because we believe it and we like manifest it in our minds. Over the last 3 years, I've left my 20s and I've become stronger and stronger than ever before, like way stronger than I was at 21, 22, 23. That's something to say, you know what I mean? I truly feel that I will continue to really make a lot of gains mentally and physically over the next 10 years. I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. And I want to spread that message to people. That's kind of like, that's where I'm at. Like, there's no reason I need to just make these cookie cutter ASMR videos. I have so much more to offer than that. Why hold back? Why keep that in my brain? Like, I should share it. I feel like I could really impact a lot of people and inspire them. I already know I have been. I feel that I do it a lot in person when I'm around people. So I just need to start capturing that online and distributing it out to the right audience. And eventually I really think it will catch on and that people will be, what are you doing? People will be inspired by that. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my God, I love her so much. So like, anyway, getting back to the topic of burnout, yes, I have. I recently experienced it. My solution to that was really just to scale back, do research, focus less on creating and more on like researching and developing. And in my book, I like was writing all these ideas, taking notes, watching YouTube videos of people saying how to change your brand, how to change your niche, how to add more and like share more and grow on social media. And that's where I'm going with this. Like, obviously all these ideas are something that will be shared online. The last remark I'll make on burnout is that it's going to happen regardless. Like, every career there will be burnout. So as long as you know like how to handle it and what you need to do to get rid of it, oh, sorry, baby. Then like that's all you really need to do. So I do feel after doing this for like 4 years, I finally figured out how to deal with the burnout. I don't know. I just like really living my best life right now. Like, I feel like I have a lot of things figured out and I have a lot of ideas for like where else I want to go with things. So it's going to be an exciting year. I truly believe that. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? I'm the type of person that doesn't really have shame. Like, I don't believe in shame. I think it's like not a good emotion. I think discipline is good, but shaming yourself for something is not a good reason to like change it. It should be more of like motivation and discipline and, improvement, not like, oh, I'm so ashamed. Like, let me go hide in the corner. Like, it's like that punishment, like that old school punishment mentality. And I just like hate it. So I think life is all about praising and lifting up and focusing on the positives and manifesting. The more you surround yourself with positivity and uplifting things and motivating things, like the more life is going to go how you want it to. But if you're constantly hating on yourself, feeling negative, or, bringing yourself down, you're going to feel not confident and you're going to feel unmotivated. Like, is that rocket science? I feel like it shouldn't be, but like it is to some people. It's like rocket science. Do you have anything you want to say? Any questions you need to answer? Hello? Do you? Tell mommy. No? Nothing? She just said that she wants me to make more fresh chicken for her. Gosh, I could totally like go all into diet and health and all of that too, but maybe we'll save that for another episode. Today was really about just sort of leveling with people about, in my audience specifically, about what has got me here and like how I'm feeling about it and how it's affecting certain areas of my life. My answer to that generally has just been that it's good and it's been positive, and I don't really have a ton of negative things to share, which maybe people are like hoping for that because they're like, oh, I need that like satisfaction of knowing that this career is like a terrible idea and, I'll never do it. But really, I have the opposite to say. It's a great career. It's very empowering. You're in control of your own life. Whether you do OF or not, just being a content creator in general and creating an entrepreneurship online is something I would encourage to anyone. Like anyone that feels like they can relate to me and who I am. Like, you're this type of person. You're creative, you are self-sufficient and hardworking, high work ethic, and you're pretty organized and you love learning and trying new things, and then this is a great career for you. And if you love talking, because clearly I do. Let's see if she can make cutesy like ASMR noises. What do you think, baby? You make the noises? Sniffing it. Can you make ASMR? No, she doesn't have it in her. Oh my goodness. You always licking your lips, but not right now. I know I answered like a few questions today, but if anyone ever does have questions for me, I would encourage, leaving it in comments on my videos. I think that it can spark good conversation, and I love that. I love when people like almost debate or agree and like have an aha moment with each other. Get that going, you know what I'm saying? Like, feel free. Like, if you have like something controversial, as long as it's not like super offensive, go ahead and say it. Like, I want to hear it. I want to hear from my audience. I want to interact with them, and I don't want them to be scared. I don't want to just hear, oh, you look beautiful in this video, like, or like emoji, like, to say something cool, like, let's talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love getting deep with it, so I will always encourage my audience to interact with me, but not in my DMs, please. Don't go in my DMs. Yeah, I don't know, I like to like kind of push the boundaries sometimes. So come on, come get a taste. Come get a little taste. It's not like much you could do or say that would like really like worry or like freak me out per se. Unless like, I don't know. No, there really isn't. Like, I just know that humans are really complex. And like, I've even said before, I feel like that, like, I don't really believe in like prison and stuff. Like, I just feel like that's not like a good way of dealing with like mistakes. You know what I mean? People are human. Like, why do we not realize that? Like, it's all part of the human experience. Like, you can always grow. People can grow. Like, we can change and grow. It is very possible. People prove to do that all the time. There's no reason why you and I can't do that. And I just really want to motivate people. I really want to motivate people to be open to growth and improvement and just having the best life they can possibly have for themselves. Put yourself first. Like, you matter. Don't live your life for anyone else, really. Like, and I hate when people say that, oh, well, this person said, like, my mom really wants me to do this, or, it's always been like this in my family. Like, who cares? Stop it. You stop that right now. Like, it doesn't matter. What do you want? What do you want? I'm Noah from freaking The Notebook. Like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What does she want? She wants chicken. She wants chicken. Is that enough babbling for today? It's enough. Okay, yeah. No, I figured. I figured that we probably went over the time limit with this. So, are we good? We good? You don't have anything else to say? She's good. She's tired from all the talking. So we're gonna go get some chicken, I guess. So yeah. See you soon. Bye.